My wife and I were traveling to the Maritime Provinces in June of 2006, and we were on a 4-lane highway. I think it was Highway 1. We were near Moncton, I believe. It was like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and there was a section of trees. The trees are real thick there. You get a lot of rain, I believe, in that area. And we saw somebody walking from one section of trees to the others. And we did not see a plaid shirt, blue jeans, hat, white face or anything. And my wife said it had a funny gait, and we agreed. It was probably, I'm going to say maybe 60, 70 yards away. We agreed that we may have seen a Bigfoot. And so, we never even thought about going back and looking. We didn't know the area. And but when we got home, we told our 3 sons that we had seen a Bigfoot, and they said, well, you must have seen Bigfoot, because you never agree on anything else. But we have been married 51 years this last August, so I guess we get along. And but yeah, my wife said it had a funny gait, and we just didn't see any normal clothes that a person would be wearing, So,
what color was it?
I think it was just dark. It was just. My wife actually got a better look at it, but she really hasn't picked up on the Bigfoot study at all. She's sort of a shy person, and she hates to be out of the normal, which some people are. And she's put up with my Bigfoot hobby, because we've had some real good Bigfoot people at our house, and she's done well with that. But she said it had a funny gait, but she's never been able to really explain what do you mean by that. And everybody says they do walk smoother than humans because they have the mid-tarsal break.
Right.
So.
Now, were you a Bigfoot believer before the sighting?
I never even gave Bigfoot a thought before that. I calculated, I think I was 62 at that point, so I had never really even considered studying Bigfoot. But then that fall, there was an article in the Detroit Free Press about a BFRO expedition near Marquette, and I got 2 of my sons and a brother, and we went to that expedition. And I didn't know it at the time, but my sons, being the guys they are, put together what I call a mockumentary of looking for Bigfoot. And it's called the Shaw Bigfoot Project, and it's in 3 parts on YouTube. But they really did me a service, because I became more and more convinced these animals, or whatever they are out there. And I've done many conferences, presentations, and I've used to show at least part of that because it's funny. It's just plain funny.
So since your sighting, you became a Bigfoot researcher.
Yeah, it was maybe a year or 2 after that, maybe even 3, that I started accumulating these stories. And I says, I should keep track of this. This is sort of interesting stuff. And so now, actually, I'm up to 125 incidents just in the West Branch area of Michigan, which is, Michigan. It's right about there. Mm-hmm. Just 6 counties. I was too cheap to drive across the state. There's reports all over. But I do attempt to write up a full, half page, whatever it take, if there's pictures, or videos. I try to do that to document the stuff.
And if someone wants to contact you from Michigan, how would they contact you?
Well, probably my email is as good as anything, philshaw66@gmail.com.
Okay.
I am on YouTube at Phil O News 1. I find the YouTube format to be rather disgusting, because they want to bounce you out of your stuff. You got to keep going back and going back. I have discovered, I opened a Facebook page friend of mine opened it for me. It's called the West Branch Bigfoot Capital of Michigan. And that really, if you scroll down on the right side, you got all these stories I posted there. So, you know, that's quite easier to look at than the YouTube. And that's a Facebook page.
And can you go back to your encounter? Do you know the date and time of day this happened?
It was June 2006. And time of day, I'm say 5 o'clock, roughly. Because it was just before we stopped to camp. We were camping on our trip to the various.
And when you saw this, were you hiking or driving?
We were driving.
You're driving.
We were actually on a 4-lane highway, and I was driving, and we both saw whoever it was there walking.
And was it walking? Did it cross the road, or was it walking along the road?
Well, that's funny. I reported it to BFRO, and the fellow from Toronto, I'm forgetting his name, we both interviewed him on the phone, and I thought that being was going with us. My wife said it was going opposite. Now, is that right brain, left brain, or what is it?
So you didn't agree on something, actually.
Yeah. I could have swore it was going with us, and she said it was going the other way.
So was it on the passenger side of the car?
Yeah, that was along the road.
And just walking along the road?
Oh, no, it was between two sections of trees, maybe 70, 80 yards away from the expressway. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So she had a better look because she was in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
But you saw it as well.
I saw it as well. Yeah.
And was there anything near there, like a parking lot or
I didn't
house?
I don't remember seeing any farm buildings at all, or any kind of buildings in the background. I think it looked like it might have been, if my recollection, and maybe that section had been clear cut. Maybe it was fairly clear of trees. So.
Can you gauge? I know it's kind of far away. Can you gauge the size of it?
Not really. My initial reaction, it was sort of human size, but I don't remember any, articles of clothing sticking out, like, hats or plaid shirts.
It was completely dark in color.
Yep.
This is June, which is pretty warm, and even for Michigan, that's warm.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada.
Yeah.
That's pretty warm in Canada, June.
Yep.
So what would be covered in completely, a black coat or outfit is kind of rare.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you wouldn't think you'd have. And 5 o'clock in the afternoon would be well before sunset. I imagine 3-4 hours at least. So it wasn't like a shadow or anything. It shouldn't have been, late sun type of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, evidently it was enough to change your life around, and you.
Oh yeah, it's just been a fun study.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the interview, and I'll let you know when we post it.
Okay, appreciate it. Thanks,
you.
Charlie.
You're welcome.